I gotta carry him.
We got the M4 in, gonna do a full unwrap and rewrap. If you guys remember Menace M4, he brought his BMW last year for SEMA. We knocked it out, did the black rose color on it. So you guys have already started removing a little bit, but I stopped them because I want to show the unwrap process.
So we got the car disassembled now. I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping this car. Edwin actually went ahead and cleared everything. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this ready for completely to get wrapped. We're gonna go ahead and start working on the whole car. Hopefully we can get most of the chassis done today. It's just gonna be a little difficult because of the color of the car, and also he wants to do a full door jamb job. So I'm gonna be working on that. The car is going in a brushed black metallic, so the car is gonna have a very, very sleek stealth look while also having that textured film, which is gonna look really dope.
So with this project, the reason why it's gonna take as long as it's gonna take is we have to do all the door jambs. So when the door's open, you're gonna see the stainless all the way through. We're gonna lay this first. I'm also gonna go back over here, unlatch the door and wrap all in there. Also, we will be taking off the door panels and wrapping all back here. And this is a show car, so we wanna make sure that every inch of this wrap is done perfectly. I'm just stressed out because I know that the deadline on this car is tight. We've been so busy, we've had this car for about 2 weeks, but we haven't been able to get on it until today, and the car's due Friday. Mess up my vibe.
I was doing my job.
Yeah, I know. I love you. I love your job. I respect your job. But you need to respect mine, and you need to let me wrap. Quarter panel's wrapped. Trunk is being wrapped as we speak. We're doing this trunk in 2 pieces. With the brushed, you can't stretch it at all because it has a grain texture. So if you stretch it, it just looks really bad. So what we're gonna do is we did the back plate here first, and then we're gonna bring this around, face the seam down. So it's very important to do that because you can do it one of two ways. You can actually wrap the top first and then do the back. But what happens with that is the seam is now facing up, if that makes sense. And it just looks bad. I'm gonna go.
36, 55.
Leave me alone, baby. I'm gonna go.
I can smell it from here, man.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, fuck! I mean, fudge! Damn!
Here's where we're at with the car. Laying the brush material. It was a little difficult. Takes a little bit more time than normal material because it's a little bit thicker, and then also you got to be very, very careful with the direction, making it all line up. So I'll kind of give you a quick little example from quarter panel to door. If you see that brushed pattern, you want to keep it consistent all the way through. Then when you get over the fender, you want to make sure it does the same. And then as always, just going in and making all of the corners perfect. Let's see if I can get that. But now, I'm gonna go over here, do this side. So I wanna really just explain what's going on. First things first, we had to remove some of the hardware. We pulled this guy off, this is the actual latch. We removed all of this stuff here, which actually sits right in this area. So in order to get all the way back, obviously the skirt came off and then the plastic trims that go here. The way we're gonna do this is we are gonna actually wrap this piece here all the way to about right here. It is covered right here. There's a BMW trim that goes right in this area. Once the skirt goes on, this goes about right here. So right in this area. So the way I'm gonna do this is instead of using a big large piece in this area because we're not removing the door, we're actually gonna do all of this to about right here. And then we will do a piece that will be seamed right in this area to about here. And then this will get done its own piece as well. So one thing I'm doing with this door handle is first things first, I'm gonna go for the corner. So this corner here, we're gonna lay all that into place. And the idea with doing this corner first is you wanna take minimal stretch, or you wanna make it to where there's no stretch actually placed right here. A lot of times what happens is people will overstretch the hardest bend, which with it being the hardest bend, the most aggressive bend, is where it's most prone to failures. And the last thing you wanna do is add to that by adding too much stress, adding too much tension to that area. So by starting with it first, you eliminate that. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of hooking it around the corner first, and then once that happens, kind of hold it in place. This is just set really nicely in place, and now I can afford to stretch over here if I need to. I really don't. I can still kind of just set the whole material and guide it into place. But like I said, making sure that that happens first is super important. Let's catch you guys up to speed. I want to show you guys this. The inlays on this back bumper are pretty complex. Most vehicles that you see us doing, this falls into the higher spectrum of difficulty. Not only is the bumper itself difficult, but it's also the material that we're using. You have to keep it directional and you can't overstretch it. While we're on that subject, I really want to show you what overstretching brushed looks like. Because I talk to you guys very often about overstretch and how bad it can actually look. Let's show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna grab this piece of brush, and you can see here, you can see the grain, you can see the consistency. So what I'm gonna do here is just 2 quick demonstrations. I'm gonna chop the piece in half, and I'm gonna install one piece, just completely flat, no stretch. And this is how you wanna install every single piece, even around bends. So we have to figure out a way to make this work. So right now, I just laid it, and you see full consistency in the brush, right? Second part, I'm gonna put on, but I'm gonna do a little stretching. And this type of stretching that I'm gonna do here is necessary with most colors. You know, you gotta make bends, you gotta make curves, but what makes brush difficult is this. Let's give it a little heat and let's stretch it a little bit. Let's install it, let's do that. And let's try to flatten it out. This is a little square that I just warped a little bit. I gave a little heat, I stretched, I moved it into place. And if you look at the panel, if you were to look at this little area here, it almost looks like the bumper is damaged. It's very warped and just looks really bad. Then you go back over here and you see what a flat panel looks like, how it was supposed to be done. So you need to have this idea all the way through. With that said, you have to make these bends without distorting the film. So you have to keep the grain in line all the way around. And that's why these inlays were super important.
delivery day. We did the wrap, but Ernie still had to go to, I think, was it Mod Bargains?
Yeah, Mod Bargains. When the vehicle was picked up, I took it to Mod Bargains in La Habra, where they put on the carbon fiber pieces, a new diffuser, new trunk lip, new front lip, new side skirts, new wheels, new headlights, new tail lights. It's definitely went through a lot of stuff, and now it's ready to go to Stance Wars in Seattle.
So you're competing for best stance, and then you're also doing Euro, right?
Best Euro.
So do you have like a big competition out there? Is there?
Definitely. I mean, you can see I was looking at the list online on stancewars.com, and there's definitely a lot of competition, and I know personally a few people that are competing, and they have some pretty good fitment, and especially the BMW family, the BMW people out there, they have some pretty good fitment and stance and build, etc.
I think as far as the wrap, probably one of our best.
Yeah, I think so. We did the Black Rose one about a year ago, and I think at that time, I think that was our best wrap, and I think doing this one now in the brush, I think this is definitely our best wrap now. To install the brush film and basically have all clean lines, no stretch marks, anything like that, I think that's a big accomplishment, especially with films like this, like the brush and Shadow Black. It's definitely by far our best wrap. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, so you dropped the car off mid to early June,
Yeah.
and you had that strict deadline of the 30th.
Yes.
When you came by on, I think it was Tuesday of the last week, and the car was pretty much all yellow still. So I think he was a little nervous. I had a little talk with him in the front room that don't panic, I swear we're gonna get it done. And Johnnee and I toughed it out. Daniel was here working late, and then we got it all knocked out. And how were you feeling then?
And I was nervous. I was like, oh man, I hope it gets done on time, because I have a strict deadline, because I have to get stuff back on the car before I leave. But I was definitely a little bit nervous, but if they did good work the first time, they're gonna do better the second time. And that's mainly the reason I came back. I don't trust anyone else with my car getting it wrapped in premium. Just within like 3-4 days I've gotten it back, a lot of people have been talking about it, like looking at it, they're like, oh, what color is that? Oh, it just breaking necks, to be honest with you. And once I got everything else done to it, like the rims, everything on it, it looks totally different than when I picked it up, when it was just nothing on it. And now it's just breaking necks everywhere, and it means a lot to me, because it's like, I thought my previous look was good, and then my second one is like, it seems like it's better. So, yeah, that's thanks to premium.
Basically, that's it for the build, and that's it for the whole process kind of that went into it. But other than that, it's been a crazy build. It's one of my favorites. It looks the craziest in my opinion. Fitment is great on it. Everything that he could have done, he did perfectly. He executed perfectly. So it's one of my favorite ones by far. Other than that, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty excited to see what the car looks like, full cinematics and all that. So that should come up next. Thank you guys for watching the video. Keep on supporting.
Je vois sauver, je vous